Welcome to the Bullits and Bourbon podcast, where it's not about the bourbon, but more about who you share it with.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Bullits and Bourbon, episode 55, and we're doing something different tonight. We are on location at one of our favorite spots in the entire world, Liberty Pool Spirits, down in is this North Fayette, South Fayette? I can never.
South Suburban.
South Suburban.
Yeah, outside of Pittsburgh. Just say outside of Pittsburgh.
Outside?
Or Washington.
Outside, not downtown.
Not downtown.
Not downtown. Outside. But we had this amazing opportunity to do our very, very first barrel pick with our favorite distillery in the world, and you know, Rob and Kevin Hough, who are the brothers that do make it all go around here, were our parental. I don't know, supervision?
Yeah, kind of. I just want to add in, Chicken Cock, I'm still not sponsored, so that could change very quickly.
He gets so jealous.
I'm just saying.
So, as barrel picks go, we've had a little bit, right?
We've been here since 1 o'clock.
Ty's about to fall asleep. We've got the entire crew here, by the way. So the picking team was Ty and Jim, our intern Matt, Connor, Craig, this guy, me, and of course Rob and Kevin, who guided us through it, made sure we didn't fall down and hit our heads, and we tried really hard to have a cage fight.
We tried pretty hard.
Yeah.
But you know, it was impressive how clear that Rob and Kevin were, making sure they covered all the lawsuits.
Yeah.
Stay away from here. Stay away from here. I mean, they were making sure.
Don't hit your head stupid
they were
and they
not
look
getting
at you.
sued. So, yeah, we were very good about that.
We can sum it up with stay away from the elevator shaft.
Well, you're on the 5th floor, stay away from the elevator shaft.
And all of us went over and looked in the elevator like a bunch of dumb animals. But no, really cool opportunity. So I want to give Rob and Kevin the opportunity to kind of walk us through and walk you guys through what a barrel pick's like, because there are a couple of different ways you do this. And Jim, you've been on a ton of barrel picks, and I've been on a few. And there's a bunch of different ways, but I really love the way we did it. I think it was just, fun. You guys know us real well. So there's a certain comfortability factor. Like, if we're off the wall, you can just be like, all right, look, idiots, go play in traffic for a minute, we'll figure this out. So what was the consensus, like, from you guys, from your point of view on this pick? Like, what did you think?
Let me take it? You got it?
For sure. No, you take it.
The
cage fight.
Rob will do anything to get out of there.
Should we let Rob take it?
No, I'll take it. In all seriousness, whenever we found out you guys were coming in, we went out of our way. We just really wanted to make sure you guys got the opportunity to taste some of the best products we currently had available. And for us, that kind of ran the spectrum between being in Western Pennsylvania. There's definitely a whole bunch of ryes involved. We also had a alternative mash bill rye 95.5 available, and some high rye bourbons. But the main thing for us is just kind of cultivating a cool environment where you get to try some really awesome whiskey. There's no pressure. You get to hang out, drink the 4 to 5 different barrels that are presented. The tough part is, from what I've seen over the years of doing this, the tough part is whenever it comes time to take votes.
Yeah.
Right? That's
you guys were all wrong, by the way. I'm just saying.
But to me, at least at Liberty Pool, I could see these guys going 2 different ways, where we could present you with a whole bunch of different barrels that can range the gamut of corn versus rye versus old versus young, or we can all kind of hone in on 4-year-old ryes, right? And that's what's interesting. And so today I think we took a little bit more of a gamut approach, but with a little bit of concentration kind of applied as well. So it's fun to see everybody's votes after all that happened.
Yeah, it was neat to do something where it wasn't all ryes, right? We didn't come in and we say, hey guys, let's just do all ryes, or let's do all high rye bourbons, or a peated bourbon. There was a good mix there, and that was a bit challenging for us at the very end, because it came down to a high rye bourbon and a rye. And part of me was like, I know personally, I was like, man, I've fallen in love with rye so much. Am I a punk if I choose a bourbon? You know, but it was that because the bourbon was that good, and that's a beautiful thing with blinds.
Well, I think everything you presented for us was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
Every one of them, I'm like, I wish I had like at least 10 bottles of each in my collection because they would be drank no problem whatsoever.
I got pictures of locations.
I know. And I know they're going to eventually release those as single barrels, and that's what I'm excited for because we kind of got our share. But I'm like, I'd pick this one. I'd pick every one they gave us. Hands down, I'd have picked. Like,
agree 100%. They made it hard. They made it harder for us to pick today,
which is fun.
Yeah, which it was a lot of fun.
It's a little stressful, you know, because you don't want. You feel like when you do this. I mean, you know, I remember like the Wilderness Trail pick. Like you want to pick something that everybody is going to like, right? You feel an obligation, and I know that we all kind of felt that obligation. Like if we fuck this up, that's bad, right? Like, but you can't really mess it up. It's gonna be great. And then so I think for me it's like, well, fuck it, I'm getting selfish. Like,
well, I mean that's how I felt. I didn't feel like there was any.
You don't care about anybody but yourself.
It was all about me, but I really didn't feel like there was any bad product to choose. I felt like one was a little more complex. One was a little bit more like maybe not for a beginner, but me, I loved them all. I mean, the goal here is to get Rob and Kevin drunk, and we'll wheelbarrow out the back.
But I think it was great. We got a lot of different palates between the picking crew. You know, a lot of experience, and we got some young guys here. And if you want to pass the mic down to Connor and Matt, our intern, is finally getting on the podcast.
Let's go.
So we got two young guys in their 20s that joined this group for the barrel pick. Why don't you guys tell us a little bit about what your thoughts were through this process?
Before you pass out on that couch. Ty's already almost there. Ty's already like going to sleep.
No, well, honestly, this is my first pick coming into this. I didn't really know what to expect. I have had some Liberty Pool products before this, and I've really enjoyed their stuff. But today, honestly, it was a tough choice. All four ryes and high ryes that we tried were all really good. And honestly, I was between barrels 1 and 2, and initially I liked barrel 1 the best, which was a high rye. But to decide, we went to a barrel 1 and 2, and between the two, I ended up liking the rye better, so that's what I picked.
Switched your vote?
Yeah, so I was actually the exact opposite. I liked the rye. I didn't like the high rye when we were over there, but then we came back over here for the blind, and I liked the high rye.
Yeah.
It's just interesting for me because this is like my palate is so young in this space, and like trying all these different bourbons and whiskeys is like it's something new every single time that it hits my palate. It's like I've never had something that's tasted like that, so it was just such like an eye-opening experience. One, to see the barrels all in that big building, but then two, to actually taste them straight out of the barrel. Like no one really ever gets to experience this, so I thought that was super cool.
It's the whole science behind it, right? I mean, this is your first distillery tour experience, right? And I can't think of a better way than with Rob and Kevin and Jeff. You know, I mean,
hopefully we set the bar high.
Yeah.
So, do you guys think that to me, whiskey is so complex that on a Monday night, what I like tonight is not exactly what I like on a Wednesday night. Exactly the same. And tonight, when we start out the night, where my palate's here, we come back, revisit something after a pour or two. You're like, well, I think your palate's changing throughout the night, throughout the week. And tonight, I feel like this. And I'm a big person of too, when I try something, always about revisiting another pour though too. Why I may not be a big fan tonight, or if I love something, there's been nights where I'm like, oh, this was an amazing pour. I was 10 pours in, and I try it the next night, I'm like, oh my god, this tastes like ass, like Rhino's asshole. I'm like, well, it's so great.
I think one thing that a lot of people don't take into consideration when trying different whiskeys is that time, place, and mood can play a role.
Agreed.
Outside of what you ate that day versus what you already drank before that. But yeah, mood and setting plays a huge role and you don't realize that. Which I think was what was really fun about doing this pick was very few picks I've done have been actually in a rick house.
Yeah.
So it just kind of sets a different mood, and it was very exciting to try those whiskeys in the rick house tonight.
The rick, because Kevin, when you asked me, so like, what do you want to do? And I think all of us were like, in the rick house. Because there's a certain like authenticity to it. Number one, for those of you who don't know, Liberty Pole, their rick house is very unique, right? It's the only one set me straight, it's the only one in Pennsylvania that's of its size and scope, right?
Yep, and style. Yep.
Yeah, so it's an awesome rick house. It's beautiful, and when you're up there, I don't know what it is, but Dan, like you mentioned it, like when you walk into it, you're walking in and you just get hit with all these smells, right?
Oh yeah, as soon as you walk in, you get those smells, and it's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, and then you go up a floor, smack your head on something, and fall down.
For legal purposes, Jason did not smack his head up. He's not tall enough.
I'm tall. Look how much taller I am than you, bro.
That was the first thing I noticed when we even opened the door. There was the smell of wood.
Yeah.
The oak. Yeah.
It hit you.
Yeah.
But just to do it in that environment where this whiskey is aging and you see the barrels in there, some of them are seeping out or bleeding or whatever you want to call it. It lends to the experience. And I mean, I love tasting it, shutting my eyes and kind of walking around and just getting those those scents. I think that makes it super special. So I think, guys, thank you so much for that part of it.
Thank you.
Well, I think a great thing is just drilling into those barrels, knowing that's being able to thieve out of them. You tell the larceny story. You told Matt that like a week or two ago about larceny and their history, but being able to experience it on one end and actually seeing, hey, we're pulling directly from the barrel, and you're getting a different taste than what you normally would. I think that was an experience all the way around.
It connects you with the process, because if you just buy bottles off the state store shelves, which is fantastic, and then you kind of, whiskey's whiskey, right? Whenever you actually thief out of a barrel, drill into a barrel, all of a sudden, then you're like, hey, you know what? This was corn not that long ago. This was rye not that long ago. And then it was fermented, it was distilled, and it was aged in this barrel. And this is, the product that came out of it. It tastes nothing like what it started with. So,
which is cool with single barrel, especially when you're on a picking team, or I'm sure you guys, when you get to lead a pick like this, and you guys get to do them. And I mean, we know a lot of the people that you do picks for, they're friends of ours, and we're super excited to see their barrel come out because we respect them and we love their palates and we love what you guys do with them. But this connects you to the whiskey. So it's like when we take this barrel and when we bottle it, this picking team, we're bottling this thing. We're going to do this. We're going to work. This is going to be something we put our hands on to be part of us. And you connect with that whiskey. Yes, you're fucking doing it, dude. Don't shake your head like you're not doing it. You are getting out of too much shit. You're doing it.
If you're half as good as Jason is on the bottling line,
I'm a bottling machine.
This reminded me so much. Out of fear, PETA comes after us. It was like going on an Alaskan fishing trip, though, and you caught that fresh.
What the fuck is he talking about?
Just let me do my thing here. Hold on.
Dude, you gotta interrupt everybody. We gotta stop interrupting.
Where you cut seriously, you go cut that fresh caught salmon. You sit there, you skin it, you fillet it right there though, and seeing that
fisher hunt.
Yes.
But it was like literally like you seeing them.
He's watching the Discovery Channel.
I like that analogy.
What's the guy we used to like to watch before they took him off TV? The Hunter. And then he cooked it right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Meat eater.
Meat eater.
Yeah, you're like a meat eater.
Stephen Alley.
Yeah, he's still alive from Meat Eater. That's what's going on right now.
Rob,
He's the Meat Eater of bourbon. Drill the hole in the barrel.
Tell us about your story.
Harpooning a salmon.
Harpooning a whale is not the same.
I harpooned this barrel from 30 yards away.
You should have said I harpooned a fat chick.
I should have said
We knew where that was going.
I got her with a cake fork.
but no, I get what you're saying. It's from the
Would
beginning.
you shut up and let me finish? So let me finish now. Jesus Christ, you can't shut up. I'm about to harpoon your mother right now. Shut up.
How do you like it, motherfucker?
You called your mother a whale.
Yo, cage. Are we back to the cage fight possibility? Like seriously?
No, continue.
Seriously, to me it was like a fresh catch out in the wilderness. Though to me, it was seeing Kevin.
Mother still.
Jesus Christ! Seeing Kevin drill into the barrel though too was just amazing to see that.
You mean Rob?
Or Rob, I'm sorry. I keep on looking at Kevin over here.
Kevin was drilling
Well, I
the
keep
barrel.
on looking at Kevin over here talking to
That's a
him.
pretty good joke by Kevin.
Oh wait, no, it's God damn it, Kevin. You know what? I'm out.
Wait. What's the count? How many pours have we had from the time that we've?
It's been a lot.
Yeah,
we
but
started
you've
had a lot more than 12 or
And
so.
I'm not the one that's drinking a fruity cocktail. That's a great, by the way.
It's a great cocktail.
I am curious about Dan's story about the salmon here. So I would.
He said 2 minutes. This is Frank.
Well played.
Please continue on about the salmon you harpooned with the.
Oh, in episode 56, we'll be closing on the podcast and moving on to something else.
I get the analogy though. He made it.
Yeah.
Right.
It was just amazing to see
Yes.
it come out. I've never seen something come out of the barrel like that before, and honestly, there's a part of you that feels like it just tastes better because it just came out of there, not of a bottle. It came out of the barrel,
straight from the barrel.
And you're gonna know when you drink this bottle. When we get to drink this bottle, and hopefully when people get this bottle, and they're gonna be able to connect with it maybe through the podcast. We're gonna be able to connect with it through picking it, bottling it. And sitting around and laughing about the stupid shit that we do, which is constant. It's going to be a memory. Whiskey is a memory. It's a memory. It's a memory of what goes in the barrel and then comes out in the time in between those 2 points. So Kev, you were like, hey, what do you want to drink? And you have back behind us. You've got the library up here, and you said pecan pie, and like that memory was so. It's so embedded. It's my favorite Liberty Pole. It's probably one of my favorite all-time whiskeys.
It's the corn for me, man.
I love
that recent corn 60 bottles.
The Cobb, don't you?
This comes back to like what the podcast is all about. It's not about the whiskey essentially. It's about who we're actually sharing it with.
It's the fellowship and the friendships you make and the laughter. And listen, anybody who's watched this for the first time, I'm sorry. It's like, you need a Xanax and a friggin' couple pours. I get it. But if you've seen this, we are very rough on each other.
I felt like Adam Sandler. Get to the point, kid.
Hey, Junior. But that's the way we show our love. Except for Craig, we don't like him. We just tolerate him. We got his credit card.
So I got a question for Kevin and Rob. You guys both had an idea of what we were tasting before we went into this, because you wanted to set us up for success, which is great. And I've never had a bad pour from Liberty Pole. Which barrel out of the 4 did you think we were going to possibly pull?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't want to. I don't.
No. You got to.
I can honestly say. Do you mind, or do you want to
Please,
go first?
Yep.
I can honestly say this was a fantastic lineup where we were not biased one way or the other.
Bullshit.
Yeah, we would have been happy with anything.
Did you hear me say earlier? I said 25% chance of any one of these 4 barrels getting pulled.
Yeah,
You did say that. You
I did actually. Yeah, I did.
Here's a question: out of the 4 barrels, which one was your favorite?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Because we were talking about this. Dan and I were talking about this. Like, if it comes down to a really hard tie, we're gonna have to say, all right, guys, the experts need to step in and provide a little bit of a nudge.
So I did think if you had to pin me down and that is not what I meant. We're not going there.
I get to pin you down.
Craig will volunteer for that. I would have thought.
Kevin,
I was honestly.
call me later.
You can say like feet to the flame, feet under the head.
Rob is so happy.
Can we edit that one out?
There's no editing.
I thought the 742, the one that we picked.
Wow. Okay.
I thought that was going to be the one. The reason why, so the high rye bourbon I thought was awesome.
Yeah.
Really, really good. That was the oldest one, but the only thing about that one is it didn't have I feel like the signature Liberty Pole kind of like viscosity.
Yeah.
You know, and so we prefer probably not that high rye bourbon, Rob and I internally, right? And most of what we drink is more of not that school. And so I was kind of expecting this one, and when we pulled the 742, the notes we had on that barrel were a little bit more oak, which I feel like is a really good thing, right? And especially, I mean, it's coming up on 4 years old. It's not like the oldest whiskey on the market by any means, but I feel like the beauty of the pot still are these insanely oily and viscous flavor. So when we were trying these barrels, everyone's reactions, the amount of flavor that comes through on those, I thought is really good. So the reason I was kind of thinking this would be the one that got picked is because it had the really nice essence of the oak that I feel like you get with older whiskeys, older than say the average Liberty Pole barrel, but with the amazing beauty of pot distilled whiskey. And so I was kind of I don't want to say expecting, but I was if I was 25, I was maybe 27 to this one. So I'm glad you guys picked this. I think this is going to be amazing.
Yeah, for me, it was the back end and the finish on that one that completely sold me.
Yeah.
Like the first one, the front end, the flavor was absolutely great on the high rye. But the rye that we tasted, that we ended up selecting, that finish and the hug was just all around for me, just perfect.
Yeah.
So my question is, what can we expect from Liberty Pole in the future?
Well, hold on. I want to know what Rob's was.
Okay. I'll back up. I'll retract my question and ask in a second.
Why don't you sip your cock?
This is a Liberty Pole high spirit here. Cocktail.
Rob's not dodging this. 'Cause I want to know.
I'm curious too.
Yeah.
I probably had a slight affinity for the third barrel, the grape one.
Number 3?
Yeah.
Was that?
Yeah.
Was that 715?
Ty,
Yeah.
was yours, Ty?
Yeah, that was my number 2.
Yeah.
That was Jan. I know it was Jan.
that was
I
my,
had 142.
that was my number 1.
Who had 3? Did anybody have 3 first?
I think
I did.
Which was
You
3?
did.
And then
Was
I had
3
the 95.5 as
Oh,
2.
no, that was my number 1.
3 is
715 715 was number 1.
Congratulations,
Then that
Jim.
was my first.
Your palates there with the intern.
17 was number 3.
Yeah, 715
Yeah,
was my
and
number
guess
1.
That was
guess
the
when
one.
it's going to be released by them.
One of my favorite barrels of all time. We called it Grapes of Rye. That was last Thanksgiving.
That was a great
and
barrel.
that 715 barrel has
I think it's even better.
yeah,
I do.
yeah. It's a little bit more viscous than that Grapes of Rye.
So that's that's probably the most difficult part for us working a whiskey day in and day out is the subjectivity behind all of it.
Yeah.
Is there's no right or wrong answer whenever it comes to any single one of these.
Yeah.
So you're constantly dealing in this kind of gray area of what are the masses like? What do we like? What do we want to do? And so it's always fun whenever we get a group of guys in here who have strong opinions one way or the other.
And then when to release them. Because if all
100%.
4 of them were really good, and we take one and you're left with 3, now you have 3 you need to figure out, well, probably going to release them. When do we do it? How do you time it with the season and the weather?
Do
Or
you think
they
there is
get-
something releasing during the season, though?
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean-
your gingerbread notes, some of your spices.
Yeah,
and-
if there's barrels that pop up and there's kind of availability on the calendar and the flavors work out, then yeah, heck yeah. But also, whenever some of these barrels get passed up on that are fantastic, we won't shy away. They'll get used in the next blend. So whenever you end up with a Monongahela Foolproof, or you end up with a Monongahela Liberty Pole 92, a lot of these barrels that are this close to getting single barreled and get passed up on, that's usually kind of where they end up as. So
Yeah. They're like the workhorse, to the blends, right?
Yeah.
So you got to have as much quality barrels into your standard, bottles.
It's probably the cheesiest thing you'll hear me say, but I think the highest calling for a Liberty Pole barrel is to be. I always view it as whenever we build our blends, we kind of look at it as a food pyramid where you have that base.
Yeah.
You know, like of standard whiskey, you have the next level up, and then you start spicing with some fruit notes, then you start spicing it with some tannic notes. But to me, like the highest calling for a Liberty Pole barrel is to be that base of that pyramid. And so a lot of these fantastic barrels that barely miss these single barreling will 100% will be the base on future blends and just end up in our regular stuff. But that's kind of how we built this company over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So number 2 was our choice, correct?
Yeah, number 2
So
overall.
number 1 then would be put into.
Well, that's a high rye bourbon.
That's a weird one. It would be if we're in a weird spot with that mash bill. It might be the base of the next blend of mash bills, or we might just finish it off, or we might just sit on that one until someone does single barrel it. There's a couple different options for that guy.
What barrel number was number 2? Was that?
That was 742.
742. 742. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, like the high rye bourbon, that was close.
Yeah.
That was good. I thought that was great.
Yeah,
really good.
we love
poured
those
it.
high
I was
rye
happy.
bourbons. If you guys have had any of the Amberana finish, we've been kind of finishing off that lot of barrels in Amberana.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to kind of see like, oh, this one doesn't have those extreme cinnamon notes in it. It still has like the particular one we tasted today, I think, was loaded with peach flavors.
There was
right,
peach,
and a couple other like some burnt citrus notes. It's definitely like.
Yeah, the orange peel.
It's definitely like a light, easy drinking whiskey, yet at an elevated proof. So we'll see what happens to that. But that's the cool thing of these warehouse management is it's a day by day thing. You just don't know it. It changes so quickly. Yep.
Well, so I kind of want to ask a question about the Rick House. Now that you've been here for over a year, have you guys found a sweet spot in there?
No, there's no sweet spots. we like to say there's different spots.
Okay.
There's no sweet spots. And certain barrels in certain spots are fantastic. Other ones are less fantastic, but it's not a big deal. It's just they're on a different time frame.
Sure.
But yeah, there's no sweet spots yet.
So a question for you, Rob and Ellen.
Thanks, Dad. I appreciate it.
Whatever. So, is there anything you can tell us about the future Liberty Pole? Like
that's a
some
great
releases coming, or I want to be a spoiler. Can
None
you tell?
yet.
What can you tell us? What do we have to look forward to in the future? I mean, you guys always produce great products, though. But what's the future coming up?
Yeah, what do we save for?
I think we're really excited about because we've never had like a massive portfolio of like SKUs, right? It's always been like a very like concentrated thing. We want to make the best pot distilled whiskey that you could have, right? With a few different like mash bills along the course. And so I think over the next like couple years, I think we're really excited. At least Rob and I are probably most excited about just seeing how this Rick House ages the whiskey.
Yeah.
And so I think we have a lot of the same to expect and just some really cool kind of variances. I think what'll be cool, I think some of the single barrels we've really grown to love, these kind of nuances and sort of the beauty of the whiskey that ages in the barrels. And I think we use some of that to blend for consistency, but then we also utilize those variances. And now this 5-story Rick House, where you have some of these like extremes for some of these single barrels. So I think some of the flavors that we can derive from the barrels will be a little bit more extreme with the Rick House. And so I think we'll see a lot more of like really like in-depth pot distilled whiskey flavors with some of these perhaps extreme. Like, how the hell did you get that flavor? I think that's one of my favorite things. Rob always talks about, like if you drink a whiskey, you're like, how the hell did that flavor get into this whiskey? That's a cool whiskey. And I think we'll see some more of that.
It's to me, it's the continued pursuit of perfection. We don't do anything crazy. We don't do anything that no one else does. But we just try to do every single step of the process as good as we possibly can. And as far as the mashing process, the distillation process, the aging process, what cooperage we put in, and just continue to perfect these same exact products that we've been putting out. And it's really exciting to see as the age statements grow, as our techniques evolve, kind of the evolution of the product. And then in a more exciting way, in the more short term, we've started finishing a lot of products.
Oh, yeah.
So you guys will see a good bit of finished between rum, toasted barrels, barley wine barrels, apple brandy barrels. We've got a lot more short-term finished products.
Well, I have to give you all a lot of credit because every time I've come down here, I've come down here for work on a Friday, on a work day,
Telework.
and I've always had a
Don't worry,
So
the youngest brother finally shows up. So I was gonna say most times I've come down here I've always had the liquid lunch, the liquid dinner though.
Yep.
But I have to say besides I mean seriously, besides the whiskey, it's an amazing food down here. Hey, Chef Alex, I have to say you could not like whiskey, and I would still tell you bring your family down here.
I don't care what anybody says.
he would tell you the same thing.
I mean, seriously, amazing food, and that's. The wife and I always joke. We've always joked about let's start a brewery, let's start a whiskey, let's start a distillery, though. Well, we don't joke. We think we could do that too. But I think good foods is very key, very core to keep having people here though, and the food's amazing though. So hats off to Chef Alex. So I mean,
awesome.
God, he kills the food though.
What did you have? You and Dan both had what?
We had the steak.
The big tips.
Beef tips.
Beef tips.
Steak
I'm sorry.
Stick on the menu.
Hold on. I'm sorry.
No.
Jay got the pork belly fat. He got the.
Why are you lying, man? Come on.
You got the shrimp tacos. We got
it's just shrimp. You're making up a menu right now, dude. Chef Alice is gonna be like, bro, I don't. Now he's gonna have another menu to do.
we had a smorgasbord.
Yeah, I had the shrimp roll, and I had the pot belly barbecue.
Dan over there to just make shit up.
You mean Jason?
yeah, whatever his name is.
Holy shit, it's Preston.
We got Preston here too. So the food is just is phenomenal. I mean, it was a perfect way to make sure that we didn't get too inebriated. I think we're up to like 5 orders of pretzel bites, 2 or 3 orders of pimento and cheese dip.
Yeah.
2 orders of the steak tips, a couple of shrimp rolls. Jesus.
And that's all just for Jason. So
Please, sir, may I have another?
Alex sees me coming in. He's like, cha-ching. You want anything? I'm like, no. He's like, no. You want anything? Want it all.
That's exactly how he
Tis the
says it,
season.
too.
How is your spiced whiskey this year? Spiced whiskey.
Ladies and gentlemen, this will lead right here to a 45-minute argument with us about can he drive. Every time.
At least he's still awake.
How is the spiced whiskey this year? One of my favorites.
That was better.
I think so. Let Dad answer that one.
Yeah.
Dad,
You gotta let Dad. Dad's got to answer. If you knock over my pecan pie, I swear we'll fist fight.
Fantastic. Best release ever. It's
Best spice release?
outstanding. Best spice release ever. Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, we would share the same opinion.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
fantastic.
We think.
Have you tried it? Do we have a bottle up here?
Ooh.
We don't.
Preston,
No,
what are you doing? Honestly, I'm pretty sure there's a bottle out
You
like,
know,
on
Jay,
the
little does
the
Jim
tank.
know, soon after the pod, soon here we have a, we have a
Preston.
small gift for him too.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Oh,
the
Maybe,
tank.
we have a
Oh no, it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Here's
Yeah, I was checking the camera.
if you're here, you're eligible to do stuff. That's just the way it works.
I
So,
swapped out.
you gotta be prepared. Yeah. I mean, there's another bottle of pecan pie.
I just want more of that corn whiskey.
My glass is empty now.
So I really think this is the best part about drinking whiskey. You know, this whole entire podcast right here. This is the best part about a group of guys, women, everybody getting together, the camaraderie.
Where's
right
the
here.
woman?
Craig. Right there.
Was it me or did he say
He's
that?
self-identifying. No, I agree. It's all about the camaraderie.
Not to be exclusionary and not say just a group of guys. I was trying to, not taint the market. But congratulations for ruining the podcast.
Of course, it's got to bring up taints. No, I agree though. The camaraderie, the friendship. Ever since I got into whiskey, the amount of friends that I've made that I feel like are going to be lifelong friends at this point.
We're not friends after this tonight.
That's okay.
What is it because of this, or is it because of the hotel stay?
Well, I mean,
That's for him to talk about.
Yeah, that's for us to discuss later. Yeah.
So back to the pick, because I don't want to miss out on this, because Kev, talk us through. We had a cool name for it, and I'd like you to introduce what we chose as the name, because I feel like.
It's not written down. Write it down. Rob. It was Rob. Rob, you got the name?
Look at him. He did the. Oh my God, Rob.
Well, it's funny because Rob actually wrote the name down.
Oh.
It's not on here.
It's on different clips.
All right, so
next podcast we'll talk about the name.
So no. So this pick is the Bullits
Bourbon.
Okay, listen. I'm holding it again. The Bullits Bourbon Bulletproof Rye.
So I think Connor actually. I think Connor's the one that
was.
came
I like Connor. Connor really came up with it, and we're going to release this the Friday before Veterans Day, right?
Yep. In honor of those who served, right?
Yep. In honor of those who served, our veteran brothers and sisters that have served and still serving. We thought this was just a wonderful opportunity to pair with our favorite place and some of our favorite people in the world, and the proceeds from this are going to be going to a local veterans place to help veterans in need, homeless veterans, food pantry. It's just a really cool way to give back to the community that has been so great to all of us, and just really embraces Liberty Pole the way Liberty Pole embraces the community. So I couldn't be more just jazzed to see this bottle go. Number one, it's a freaking awesome whiskey. It's we could have not had anything to do with this, and I would be so proud to be a part of this bottle going out.
How can you not be a part of something but be a part of something?
It's easy.
He just tripped on his words.
You see, I did a word salad.
You did.
I did that on purpose.
You do that. But it's like you said, anything Liberty Pole puts out.
I didn't say that.
No, but it's what you meant.
It's
what you meant. Anything Liberty Pole puts out, you put your name behind it, because it's always a great product.
Oh, that's yummy.
There isn't anything I've had,
It's good.
except my palate doesn't care for the cherry cola, which you like. But that's the only one out of all the single barrels I didn't care for. But I really wish they had more of that corn whiskey.
You and me both, Dan. You and me both.
60 bottles just breaks my heart.
Whatever this one.
Did you drink a whole bottle of that in one night?
Really good.
You don't have any of your corn whiskey left?
Spiced.
That much.
It's good.
This is literally fall in a glass.
What
This is like
So that's the spice whiskey. So
I said this screams Christmas.
Oh yeah.
I think the best description I've ever heard is like
nose on that.
you walk into Michael's and
I said it
smells
like
I think TDY.
Christmas in a bottle.
Yeah.
It is though. I mean, it's like
Well, the
like
spice
screams fall, holidays.
The spice whiskey went live yesterday.
Wow.
Or was it today? So it's on the website.
Yep.
So go to libertypolespirits.com, look it up. You're going to have one of my. I love the Monongahela. I'm
There you go.
Hey Jay.
Yes.
I think the intern had the best description for the nose on this. Go ahead, Matt. Tell him the nose on this.
Let's go intern.
I said it's like you're in a Michael's and you walk past the cinnamon sticks.
No
area.
You just said that?
He just said that too.
I just said that.
We've heard that before.
Like,
so
this
true
is
though, right?
fantastic. It's
Yeah.
so like
Yeah.
it doesn't. It's not giving you like a punch in the face cinnamon, but it's like.
It's like a delicate holiday potpourri.
Yeah, it's like the cinnamon sticks you can buy at Aldi that are just sitting right in the front of the store.
Yeah. So,
approachable.
if you're out of state and you listen to our podcast, you can get this. And So what Jennifer likes to do with this is she likes to heat it up on the stove and get it like warm, almost like Cluvine. Remember Cluvine? We were over in Germany.
Oh yeah.
Boom! 20 steps later, and you're falling down in Cologne and passing out, throwing up. That's great.
Delicious.
It's good.
Yeah, this is phenomenal.
So
This is a great addition to apple cider.
Yeah.
It is. Absolutely.
A warm apple cider. Put a couple ounces in this with apple cider, and it's.
What about eggnog? Has this ever been mixed with eggnog?
I haven't done that yet.
I think the apple cider, warm it up.
Yep.
Apple cider.
Apple cider.
And
I've done that before.
The one that I hear a lot from customers is hot tea. To make a hot toddy with you.
Oh, hot toddy. That'd be good.
Yeah. A little bit of honey in there.
Yeah, some black tea, some honey.
Yep.
I gotta try this with eggnog. Now I don't know if it's gonna be good or not.
So,
but it'd be better than rum.
This is the 6th year we've done this.
Oh yeah.
And it's amazing how many people this has become a part of their holiday tradition.
Oh yeah.
Whether it's Thanksgiving or Christmas Eve, I hear it so often that like they break out the bottle of spiced whiskey.
This is a two bottle buy every year for me.
Yeah. And we run out of it every year.
Yeah.
I mean,
So my question to Jim is, what made you decide to go with the spiced whiskey? There's not a lot of distilleries that go with the spiced whiskey. And I mean, this is absolutely phenomenal. This is something I could drink. I know it's seasonal, but this is something I could drink all year round.
I've never smelled anything this seasonal, this Christmassy like this at all.
So like a lot of things at Liberty Pole, it's Ellen. It's Ellen, it's Mom. Back in the very early days when we opened, for the cocktail program, she made an allspice dram. It's a liqueur that you can buy. There's only a few allspice drams on the market, but she made that as part of a cocktail program, and it was so damn good that the next year we said, why don't we just turn that into a product and a bottle, and we've had it ever since. But yeah, it all originated from Ellen's allspice dram.
And it sells out.
Cheers to Ellen.
Cheers to Ellen. Yeah.
And her wonderful creations.
As your friends from those Dram Yinzers, they call this Mama Huff's winter whiskey.
There you go. And it usually sells out pretty quick.
Yeah.
I mean, I think last year.
Yeah, within the season. Yeah.
I bought a bottle thinking, I'll just come down and get another bottle. By the time I did, it was gone, and I was like, oh crap! And then I found that I had bought 3 bottles the year before, and I had hit them. So I'm good. I'm like a squirrel.
No shocker there.
I'm like, I got it hit all right.
He's got a stash.
After today, though, I have to ask. After hanging out more with Kevin and Rob, I have to ask, and you probably won't answer the question. Which one of your sons is the bigger a-hole?
I think it's pretty obvious.
I have my opinion.
Rob.
I didn't know if he was going to say that. All thinking. I knew. I was thinking.
Doesn't mean I love him anyway.
He's not in the room right now.
Let me ask you, Kevin. We talked about it a lot today, but in a cage fight, who would win?
Honestly, Rob probably wins.
Really? You think so?
Oh, but he's also got like 20 pounds on me.
Yeah, but you just gotta be more nifty.
So you're saying he's the fat brother?
Yeah, he's a fat. Yeah. By no means better, right?
We're setting this on for our Patreon account. This is Liberty Pole first annual brother cage fight.
Yeah. I won't go down not swinging though.
Fundraiser for charity.
So who could drink more?
Ooh.
You or,
Probably me.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Who has
almost guaranteed?
Who has the better palate?
Rob's a
you think? I don't know. Rob's got a goofy.
He's got a weird.
He's got a goofy palate.
It's goofy, but I think it's better.
Yeah.
It's better.
I love that.
So let me ask you, how much do you guys, when you guys do the barrel picks, how much do you and Rob, your dad, your mom, how much animosity is there in the barrel pick in the family?
Oh my gosh, a lot.
Wait,
but it depends.
Seriously, what happens here?
It depends.
So who trumps all? How do you all decide?
So some barrel picks are unanimous, and that's cool and a lot of fun. Some barrels are not so much. I would say though that the single barrel picks, it has to be at least like probably like at least 3 of the 4 Houghs for it to be like a single barrel pick. Because I think we take those very seriously. And like,
how have you figured it out though? When it really got down to those, I mean, those.
so like
those where you're not talking for a day, or you're like, we have to walk separate directions.
If it's not like a majority, it's just not single barrel. Like we won't put that out as a barrel pick, and I think that's probably a big reason why they're still popular, right? Like I think we do a lot of barrel picks, but I think
a really high bar.
Yeah, for sure. And if it doesn't meet it, then boom, it's not getting picked. And I think that's
what helps your barrel pick program is that you're not putting barrels out just to put them out.
For sure.
It has to hit that standard.
We always say that you're promoting your next barrel pick. If you put out a shit barrel pick this time, then you ruin your next barrel pick, right? Because you lose trust, right? So we have such a high bar for those single barrel picks, and even like today, like these 4 barrels, like we spent a lot of time like making sure these 4 barrels, if any one of them got picked, we'd be totally happy about it, right? I think not even just okay, just happy, like we, So I think that bar is such a high bar. So. Enough talking good about Rob.
Yeah.
Not enough.
So everybody listen, before we wrap up, I just want to say, listen, thank you, Kevin, Rob, and Jim. Thank you for having us a part of your family down here. And, I mean, we love you guys. You know that. I am not allowed to rank Liberty Pole anymore, according to these guys.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Dicks, so I can just put an asterisk next to it. But
we all know he's 100% biased.
Too much bias.
Mr. Chicken Cock over here.
Still not sponsored, by the way.
Let's get that worked out.
We can figure that out.
Wait, you're not sponsored by Liberty Pole yet, though.
Listen.
No pressure, Kev. Or Rob. Or
Let's do a tattoo.
What's his name?
Well, the thing is, it doesn't matter who you talk to when they come down to the Liberty Pole. They feel like family.
Yes.
Like their first experience, every time they come to Liberty Pole, they're like, it's the most amazing experience. The people are great. The food's great. The drinks are great. You just feel so welcome.
Yeah.
And it's for the first time to every other time, it's just, you feel like family.
Yeah. You walk in, there's no pressure. And now, what you really need to do when you come down here is bring Chef Alex a big jar of Hellman's mayonnaise. Yeah. Okay. And then tell him, and make sure he knows that Duke's is garbage.
That's right.
Pretty sure those are fighting words.
Shots
Chef Alex.
Comes up through the floor. Chef Alex, a Florida boy, just like me. So much love. I can't encourage you enough. Come down to Liberty Pole. Enjoy great food. Grab a bottle of whiskey. Trust me, if you don't know what to pick, ask. Everything that you're going to try, if you try it, it'll be explained to you. You can go in the back, and take a tour. Take the tour. Take a tour and learn. It's the best way to do it.
As Matt's intern, he just bought his first bottle tonight.
Yeah, first bottle.
He gave them samples up front. Like he was a regular customer because they didn't know he was with Bullits Bourbon.
And he got carded.
And he got carded.
Well, he does look at his 18.
I am happy to hear
That's a good job by the staff, right, Jim?
Spirit shop.
Yes. Whoever's in a spirit shop, yeah.
You 21 punk? What you know about whiskey? But come down.
They gave me a plenty variety of different bourbons and whiskeys I could have tasted. I tasted plenty of them, and
you've tasted more whiskey tonight than you have in your entire life.
Probably, yes. Yes.
That's awesome.
So yeah, before we wrap up, just huge thanks to Liberty Pole and the Liberty Pole family. I mean, everybody down here, we love coming down here. I mean, we get to just BS with you guys and love the fellowship and can't wait for this. I mean, yeah, we're going to be partial. This is our barrel pick. We are so proud to do our very first barrel pick with Liberty Pole Spirits. You guys have just supported us from the beginning, encouraged us, sometimes given a kick in the, hey, just go do it, don't give up. That encouragement to, we're a bunch of idiots doing a podcast. I mean, we really are a bunch of idiots.
I was thinking. Seriously, Jim. Ellen.
Craig,
but Jason. Jim, Rob, Kevin, I appreciate always having us. So it means a lot, though. It does mean a lot to always come down here, though, and always feel welcome.
So stay tuned. Friday before Veterans Day. All right, that's when this pick will be dropped, and we're going to do a ton of info on, on the details. We've had way too much to try to dive into it tonight, but just don't pay attention to what our barrel picks coming out. They're going to have some awesome, trust me, awesome barrel picks. What's the toasted one coming up? Can we talk about it?
Hopefully Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving?
Probably Thanksgiving. You have talked too much tonight.
I love it. I love it. So one last thing before we go. You hear us say this a lot, and this really kind of originated with Ellen, right? And her saying, which is whiskey is better with friends.
Yep.
And there is nothing that is more true. Matter of fact, you can see it up on the board behind us, and that spirit is no stronger than where we sit right now here at Liberty Pole. We cannot thank you enough, guys. Stay tuned. The bottle's coming out soon. It's a pretty badass sticker, and I mean, we picked it, so it's good. That's the best I can. That's the best I can muster. Until then, stay thirsty, my friends. Cheers to all of you.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. With your cocktail. Oh my God.
Thank you for listening to today's podcast of Bullits and Bourbon. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.